Okay, welcome to room number 2, Universal Show. As I told you, for the next couple of weeks, we're definitely pulling out the red carpet. We're definitely giving it a good old polish. Because we've got some big ones, I'm telling you. I told you guys. Now, this guy that's in the building, and I mean, I'm going to let him introduce himself, but it's such an honor to have him in the building. I think the last time I interviewed this artist was about 5 years ago. And it's only right that I get him in again. Do you know what I mean? But let's just introduce yourself and then we'll take it from there.
Hi, I'm Omar, and it's nice to meet you.
Omar in the building. Nice to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
I mean, what can we say? MBE? Godfather of UK Soul?
You have to curtsy every time you see me now, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, let me
Not
do
bow, just curtsy.
All right.
Lift your skirt up and...
Oh, God. All right. Can we say trendsetter, leader? If you're doing it now, he's probably done it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I hope it's all good, clean fun, but yeah. Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Omar, man. I mean, how many years have you been in the game? Let's break it down, because I know we've got a lot of young listeners locked onto my show as well, and they might be familiar with you at later stages of your career, as you know, generation thing. But give London a little insight. How long have you been in this game of music? How long have you been doing it? How did it all start for Omar?
Well, my first single was called Mr. Postman. That was out in 84, I believe. So we're talking almost 30 years now that I've been releasing music. So I've been a hot minute, yeah.
30 years, but that doesn't make sense because you're 27, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how you do that.
I don't, I tell people, and they won't believe me, but I wrote There's Nothing Like This when I was 2, basically, simple as that. But
yeah, so from the Postman.
Yeah, so from the Postman, I had a single out every year up until 1990s when I did the album, There's Nothing Like This. And that's when everything kind of like took off, really. That's where people kind of knew me internationally. It was released on my dad's independent label, Conga Dance, originally. And then we got signed up by Giles Peterson and Norman J to have a re-release. It was kind of remixed, remastered for the second release.
Wow. How has music changed since you emerged onto the scene in 1984? What have been some of the highs and lows of things that you've experienced? Because, I mean, it's fair to say now, you've worn the T-shirt. What kind of experiences and changes have you experienced, Omar, as an artist?
Well, it's that, I don't want to say a struggle. It's the fight for making good music, and being represented, and I've still kind of seen like the soul music's not really represented in this country as it could be. We don't have our own TV shows, our own radio, mainstream, radio shows, but God bless the internet, because that's the way that people can access their music now much more directly. And there's less people in control of the sound in terms of like A&R men. That was their job to kind of guide the artist and stuff. But I think it should be down to the artist to make up their own decision what kind of music they make, not what radio shows, what kind of music radio shows are playing or what TV shows are playing. Because it is an art form. It's about expression, And I've seen it change for the better, really. Now the state of music is... we've got a lot of black artists in the charts. And now the thing is that, the Tiny Tempers, the Labyrinths, the Emily Sandys and stuff, that's a bit more pop, but at least it's representative of youths now. They're doing some quality music there. It's international as well. So I think it's a fantastic time for music. And like I was saying with the internet, people are less constricted about what kind of music that they're making. They can make basically what they want. There's going to be some rubbish in there, but at the same time, you know what I mean? There's going to be quality there, which you never had before. Yeah.
Now, you've always been one of those artists where have always been at the forefront of your genre. But I feel like even just talking about what you're talking about, like, with black artists being in the charts, I feel like Omar's always been misrepresented. I feel like you've never been given the maximum promotion which you rightly deserve, and also your work is so credible. Why is that? Is there a reason behind that? Is there something that you've wondered that to yourself?
No, not really. You know, I don't fit into any box. And people try and, you know, they need a label to see that kind of thing. And, you know, when it comes to record labels and people like that, they need to see that kind of thing. They need to have someone that's in a box. I work outside of the box, and I kind of just do what I want, which doesn't sit well with a lot of people, you know. So I think in them terms, that's why you haven't seen me like mainstream as such. That hasn't stopped me from making music, and hasn't stopped people from listening to my music or buying my music. You know, I'm still here 30 years on making music. You know, just got that award on the 7th album now. Still touring as well. I give thanks every day I wake up, man. You know, because whatever country I touch down in, somebody knows my music, and they always come to see the shows. So
real talk.
that's the basic thing. As long as I can pay my mortgage, my council tax, and my electric, my gas, and all that,
and your insurance.
And
yeah?
my insurance.
Don't take that call
Exactly.
now.
Exactly. Basic.
Yeah. It's true. That's very true. Very true. So, I mean, tell London about some of the artists that you've collaborated and that, you know, have been really special moments for you that you've collaborated with as well.
Well, I'd have to start with Mr. Stevie Wonder, of course, because he was a big influence for me from when I was about 7, 8 years old. Always singing his tunes. So when I actually got to meet him, and I met him several times. I'm just checking all the pictures I got at home of me and him as well. And it goes way back to I was like 17, 18. And yeah, you know, my manager at the time was managing him, and he passed on my second album, Music, and he said he wanted to work with me from then. So we actually went to the studio, and he blessed me with 2 tracks, but the best one on the album, Feeling You. So that was a fantastic time, you know, because you're in the studio with Steve, you can touch him right there, and you know, he's playing the keys, the drums, he's singing, you know what I mean? He's ordering sandwiches, whatever. You're hanging out with the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
on a social level. Like.
Absolutely special time. Around about the same time, I worked with Sarita Wright, who's his ex-wife, rest in peace. My favourite female vocalist of all time.
Wow.
And I got blessed enough to write a song for me and her. Harvey Mason, Leon Ware, David Frank, Lamont Dozier, you know, there's enough people, yeah.
Wow. Now, are there any any songs that you've particularly produced for that you wished yourself that you actually did yourself in the end?
That I produced?
Yeah.
No, not really. No, You know, I'm quite comfortable with the you know, where I've been, you know, in terms of like the production on the track. You know, when I produced "Should Have Known Better" for Misha
Paris, yeah.
That was you know, she was like, "You gonna sing something?" I'm like, "I ain't gonna sing with you." You know how good you sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she's got one powerful voice. You know. So, you know, I know my place. I know where I'm supposed to fit in and what I'm supposed to do, basically. So, yeah, you know, I'm quite happy with all the choices I've made.
All the choices. Now, so how does it work then for Omar? Give us a little day in life of Omar. So, what style of music are you into out of the soul music itself? Because I hear a lot of reggae. Definitely when you make slow jams, your slow jams ain't like the American slow jams. It's like you're coming to lick off a boy. Yeah. Them bass lines is like for sound systems.
Well, that is my background, but yeah. Go on.
Yeah, so what's your structure into billing a track for Omar? How does it work?
We can start from anywhere, you know. It could be the beat, it could be the bass line, it could be the chords, it could be the melody. It depends what kind of thing I'm kind of trying to go for. I don't know. You know, I look at myself as a vehicle for making music. Somebody's instructing me what to do on these things, you know. So, you know, bass lines. I'm always trying to get them to rub the wallpaper off the wall in the dance. You know, no one's there.
Yeah.
Because it just comes from somewhere where you're trying to express yourself, and it could be anything that does it. Someone that kicks it off. I might listen to another tune that inspires me to write, you know, what I'm doing. Like when I wrote There's Nothing Like This, I was inspired by the Ohio Players and Heaven Must Be Like This, you know, because it was a tune at the time where I was going through my dad's record collection. This is like 89, and nobody's playing like live music. It was all about acid house, was all about hip hop at the time. You know, that synthetic sound, and everybody's using, you know, syn drums and keyboards and stuff, as opposed to the natural sound. So I just wanted to create something that was like organic, basically. So yeah, you know, it can come from anywhere.
Now the thing is, you just mentioned a tune there that I know you're synonymous with. You know, if you're under the age of 21 and you don't know this track, there's nothing like this. You need to go on YouTube. Just type it in. Yeah, be careful though. Be careful, because I can tell you when I was a little youth, when I was involved in certain things,
Yeah.
them things. That was the soundtrack to my little sessions.
Right. I got blamed for a lot of that. A lot of childbirth. I seem to be responsible for.
Now, not a lot of artists, it's sad to say today, can definitely make a track that you're going to continually hear for 30 years. How does that make you feel to have like probably one of the most infectious slow jams in history of music? Because we're not just talking about UK music, we're talking about music.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Pretty good. You know, when I wrote my first single, after 2 weeks of my first single being out, I hated this song with a passion. And I just decided from then that I want whatever music I'm gonna make, I have to like it. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be performing this thing 20, 30, 40 years down the line. So imagine if I didn't like There's Nothing Like This.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing PAs with, I remember doing a couple of PAs in 5-Star. They were massive at the time. I remember they were on before me, and then I'll come on singing this tune I hated. So from then on, I just decided that I have to make music and I have to come up with, you know, a legacy of music which I'm just going to be proud of. You know, because at the end of the day, that's all you got left. You could be sitting down with A&R people and them telling you have to sound this sound and do that sound. But then you'd be left with something that you don't really like. And then, you know, I'd have to struggle with that later on. I'm really happy with the catalogue that I've produced over the years. I feel blessed that I've been able to make that and been inspired to write that. And, you know, hopefully for many more years to come.
Crazy. If you've just locked on, we have got Omar in the building. He's here live on the Universal Show, WOW FM, Saturday morning. Such a pleasure to have him here. Now forwarding on to 2013. I get a tune in my inbox. And I'm like, jeez, what's wrong with this guy? Like, they don't even make speakers for them kind of bass lines no more.
B-line, that's how it's got to be, you know.
Omar, man, come on, the man. Tell London about this track. What is it about?
Well, you know, it's I've come to realize it's about me. You know, when I initially wrote it, you know, I always do the music first, and the lyrics come afterwards. But I wasn't specifically thinking about me. I was just trying to tell a story. That's how the melody was speaking to me. It was about somebody that's changed their life. Something's happened to them, and they wanted to change their life around. And then it's involved, you know. And then the director, Robin Brunson, suggested, you know, he showed me a little test of the video idea, and it was like, so simple. Walking down the street, bam, 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 maybe, you know, changes every shot. Then he suggested filming it in Brighton, which is, you know, where me and my family live. And I was like, you know what, I could get the girls in, my baby, my twin girls, almost 6 now. And then I'm singing about my missus in the second one, in the second verse. So I was like, get them involved. And it turned out to be, you know, it looks like a day out, that we had a day out at the beach. It's like down the end of our road. But then as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? I'm actually singing about us. This is me and my setup now. And then it kind of makes sense now. The whole, you know, whole idea of the album is I'm being a man, you know, it's kind of, I've evolved into a man now because I've got family to take care of, I've got responsibilities. I hope that I'm, you know, living up to those responsibilities as well. You know, I'm supposed to matured, I hope, as a person, as a human being, you know what I mean? 7 albums deep now, and I would just hope that this has come to the next level. I'm taking it to the next level because I would hate to think I'm going backwards. of my productions, of my songwriting and arrangements.
Do you feel like you mentioned like your family there? Has that changed your whole thought process when it comes to writing now that you have a family? Do you feel like your mental state in writing is totally different now?
Well, not so much. I was always wondering about it before I had kids. How would that affect my life in them terms? It's just more purpose now. You got a purpose because you got these people to look after. They're depending on you, and I don't know if that's inspired the writing at all because people know my music and they know how I am. So you put 2 bars of my thing on, bam, it's me, and that's kind of strengthened. I don't know if that's as a consequence, but there's definitely inspiration there. Like I said, with that song, I wasn't thinking about us, but obviously that's what I was thinking about. Ordinary Day that I wrote on the album as well, that was about them. I was thinking about them when I wrote that. You know what I mean? I was being very specific about that. But I wouldn't change it for the world.
Crazy. Do you know what, Omar? Such a pleasure to have you here this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming down.
No,
Have your busy schedule, man. It's such an honour. Do you know what I mean? So we're going to go into your single right now this morning, and I'm definitely going to get a couple of hits on this morning as well. Got to play that crazy Broken Beach tune, man. No, the other one.
Dancing.
Oh, shit. Mad. Definitely got to get that.
Okay.
I need that on dub, by the way.
On dub? You want a dub player?
Yeah, I need that on dub.
Talk to Lucia, whatever.
We'll talk to Lucia. We need to sort that out.
You talk to my people talk to yours.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no splice around here. No splice.
All right.
All right, so could you introduce your single, please, The Man?
This is Omar. You're listening to The Man.